Two people lose the same job on the same day. One spirals for months. The other rebuilds within weeks. Same circumstances, completely different outcomes. What separates them isn't luck. It isn't talent. It's a set of invisible rules running quietly in the background of their minds. Rules they likely never wrote down or even noticed they were following. Psychologist George Bonanno spent decades studying people after the worst moments of their lives, and he found something strange. Most people don't break the way we expect them to. They bend, recover, and keep moving. Resilience, it turns out, isn't rare. It's a skill. And like any skill, it follows rules. The first rule is simple. They accept the moment before they try to fix it. Most people skip this step. They jump straight to solving, straight to fighting, straight to denial. Resilient people pause first. They let the moment be real before they decide what to do about it. This isn't passivity. It's the fastest route through pain, not around it. The second rule is they separate the event from their identity. A failed project is information. It is not a verdict on who they are. This sounds obvious, but under stress, the brain blurs the two together instantly, turning "this didn't work" into "I am the kind of person things don't work out for." The third rule is they shrink the timeline. Instead of asking, "How do I fix my whole life?" they ask, "What's the next right step?" Big problems feel impossible. Small steps feel possible. Have you noticed how panic disappears the moment you start doing something, anything? The fourth rule is they protect their identity outside the crisis. If their job falls apart, they still have their friendships, their hobbies, their sense of humor. Psychologists call this self-complexity. The more sources of identity you have, the less devastating it feels when one of them collapses. A person who is only the job has nowhere to stand when the job disappears. The fifth rule is they choose their input carefully. They are deliberate about who they talk to during hard times, not the person who panics with them, the person who has been through something similar and came out the other side. Words have weight when you're vulnerable, and resilient people know exactly whose words they're letting in. The sixth rule is they let themselves feel it without performing it. They cry, they vent, they sit in silence, but they don't turn the pain into a permanent identity. There's a difference between processing an emotion and moving into it as a home address. One is a visit, the other is a lease. The seventh rule is they look for what the situation is teaching them, even mid-crisis. Not in a forced, fake positivity way. In a quiet, almost private way. They ask what this reveals about their limits, their values, their blind spots. The lesson doesn't erase the pain, but it gives the pain a purpose. The eighth rule is they stay physically regulated. Sleep, movement, food, breath. This sounds unrelated to mental toughness, but it isn't. Your nervous system can tell the difference between a threat to your life and a threat to your ego if your body is already running on empty. Resilient people protect the basics first, because everything else gets harder without them. The ninth rule is they don't wait for motivation. They act first and let the feeling catch up later. Confidence isn't the cause of resilience, it's the result of it. You don't feel your way into action. You act your way into feeling. The 10th rule, and maybe the most important one, is they remember they have survived hard things before, not as a generic affirmation, but as actual evidence. The brain forgets its own track record under stress. Resilient people keep score on purpose, building a private archive of proof they can return to. None of these rules require you to be naturally tough. They require you to be deliberate, Bonanno's research suggests something almost comforting. Most humans are already wired for this kind of recovery. We just get in our own way with stories about how broken we must be, mistaking a hard week for a permanent condition. So the next time life knocks you sideways, you don't need to ask why this is happening to you. You already know what to do. Accept the moment. Shrink the timeline. Protect your identity outside the crisis. Choose your inputs. Feel it without living in it. Look for the lesson. Regulate your body. Act before you feel ready. And remember the proof you've survived this before. Two people can lose the same job on the same day, but only one of them is operating on rules built for the storm. Which one will you be?